Welcome again. This is another AutoCAD certification video. This one is going to be about polylines. As the prefix indicates, poly means that it's a line made up of multiple lines or multiple curves or what have you. But I'll show you what we mean by polylines. Where do I need to go here? I'm going to click on that. Okay. First off, a polyline will exist with, well, pretty much anything. Let's take a rectangle, for instance. If I draw this rectangle, that is a polyline. It is a polyline because the whole thing is, everything is connected. It's all basically one unit. I can explode that one unit like so by clicking on this little explode button right here. And now each line is its own separate entity. Okay, so it's really no longer a polyline. It's no longer a line made up of multiple segments. Another form of polyline is over here under the Draw panel. If we click on the little arrow that pulls down the extra menu with some extra tools, we have two options here for polylines. These are actually called splines. Alright, so I'm going to click on this first spline and show you how it works. It is Spline Fit. Okay, so it is, you're drawing a spline with what we call fit points. I'm going to start this polyline, and of course you can do the same thing if, that you've done with other geometry. If you have a specific place you want it to start, according to the user coordinate system, you can type in the XY coordinate and start there, or we can just go ahead and start with some other geometry. Alright, so I clicked and I'm drawing this out, and you see it's the only thing that's following it is that dashed line. Now where I click again is going to be another point. And it's going to stick to that point. No matter where I curve, that one point is going to stick and it's going to bend the geometry. And then if I click over here, again, same thing. We're bending geometry from that particular point. Alright. So that is also a poly. I'm sorry, I actually hit delete there. I didn't mean to. Let's do that again. I just like to draw lines, so why not? Okay, so click enter when you want to get out of that and keep your polyline. But if I hover over it, that all is one entity. Now these are just handles that will allow you to edit this polyline in any shape, form, or fashion that you would like. Make it look pretty, make it look like something. Okay, so that is a polyline. Another method of drawing a polyline is using a different type of spline tool, and this one is called Spline CV. I really don't know what the CV stands for, I'm sorry, but I relate it to like the what is that program, that Adobe program, Illustrator, that's it. And it works off of like a Bezier type system, and I don't know what a Bezier is either, except for when I took a class on that Adobe program, that Illustrator program, we talked about Beziers, and this is how Bezier would work. I'll show you here just a second. Alright, click enter to keep that shape. Now if I want to adjust this shape in any shape, form, or fashion, I'm actually going to be able to do some moving around here with this assumed corner. You know, it's kind of an invisible corner, and I can pull that piece of geometry around to stretch my curve there. And I call that Bezier. I don't know if that's really what it's called or not. It's really not important because they're not going to ask you what it's called on the test. So you just want to make sure you know how to use or how to make a polyline and or use your spline tools. So really all you need to remember about this is that it is a spline tool, and because it is all one unit there, it is a polyline. Or one unit made of multiple units, I should say that. Alright, so that's it for polylines. Again, if you draw a rectangle or circle or anything like that, those are polylines. If you want to explode them, you can explode with this button right here, all except for circles, because there is no segments on a circle to explode. But you can explode a polyline shape, and it would make each line segment its own entity. Here, I don't know, I've never tried to explode a spline. I don't think that worked. No, it didn't. Didn't do anything. So anyway, that's the other polylines, using your spline tools. And you got just two different ways to adjust those splines. You got the Spline Fit and then the Spline CV. I'm assuming Spline CV means curve, that you can edit the curves. We'll go with that. But again, they're not going to ask you what that means anyway. They just want you to be able to use the tool and understand all the different things that it does.